What's up guys, Tristan Niagara here with another YouTube video. Today we're going to be talking about the absolute stupidity of Reddit. So here and there I will go onto Reddit and I look at a lot of different things. There's some funny stuff, there's some cool stuff, and then sometimes there's some really stupid stuff that I really don't understand, and it really reflects poorly on the audience and the users on Reddit in general. So I picked out like a few different, two different posts that I thought I'm going to talk about and explain why they're dumb, and talk a little bit about who I think goes on Reddit and why the habits of these people are not good and should not be replicated. It really reveals what like a normal person's day is like and what they look forward to. I picked out a few different posts on Reddit that I thought were especially stupid and really reflect poorly on the user base of Reddit and how lazy some of these people are and what they praise and what they value in life. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first post here was no one to celebrate with, but it's my 365th day consecutive of drinking. And he's got a picture here. He's got a tattoo, weird ass tattoo, and he's watching TV. I don't know what he's watching. He's watching TV and it looks like he's got some whiskey in a bottle. And I don't know why, and this subreddit is usually like really good for like posting cool pics and stuff, but for some reason everyone praised this. They praised someone drinking literally every single day. Like if you don't already know, this is like an addiction, and this is an addiction to alcohol. These people, they spend all day at work and then they come home and they look forward to a drink of alcohol. And look at all of like the Reddit awards, like Hugs Award, I'll Drink to That Award, Silver Award, Wholesome Award, Helpful Award. Why would it be helpful? Why is this helpful? Like there's not a lot of like background to this, and they even like label it as like a shit post. And it's like, I don't know why so many people are praising this, but I kind of understand it because a lot of people can relate to this, because this is like a big problem. A lot of people drink literally every single day. And I don't think there's anything wrong with drinking in general, like if you keep it up like in moderation, but when you're doing it every single day, there's a big issue with that, and you're relying on something to make you feel good, and it's artificial. It's a drug. Alcohol is literally a drug, and it's one of the most dangerous drugs. Doing it every single day of the year and being praised for it, it's like you're positively reinforcing this dude's drinking habits. Like, you think he's gonna stop because he got like a 43,000 upvotes on Reddit? Like, no, he's just gonna keep going because he thinks it's funny. He thinks it's cool to be lazy. And it's fine that some people don't want to, strive in life and be successful and advance in their careers, make more money, things like that. But this dude literally says he's alone. He drinks every day, he's watching TV. It's like the epitome of just like laziness. And if you're striving to become successful or improve in your life, find a date, find a woman to be, your girlfriend, this is not the way to do it at all. Watching TV at home, on the couch, drinking alcohol is the worst way to do it. And I've made several videos on why alcohol is like terrible for your body. Like, it's bad for your health. It hurts your relationships. You can't drive when you're doing it. You ruin your next day if you drink too much. So you're basically wasting a night and a day, all because you just wanted to feel good from an artificial substance that is literally a drug. And let's look at the comments a little bit. So, Liver Let Die. I'd award you if I could, but I spent all my money on booze. There's nothing funny or like cool about literally spending all of your money on alcohol. It doesn't make any sense to me. I quit drinking like 2 years ago, and I haven't felt as good as I have prior to drinking. Like, I used to feel like absolute crap with drinking. I would do like a binge of drinking on the weekend, and then the whole week afterwards I was like emotionally down, very, very depressed. So I don't know. And part of the reason a lot of people drink every day is because, you know, it's like the hair of the dog. If you feel hungover and you have a bunch of drinks the next day, you'll feel a lot better. But then you start becoming dependent on that. You start becoming dependent. Once you have the hangover, your body just wants to, you know, feel normal again, and alcohol will do that. And that's where, you know, you start getting like addictions coming into play. You start drinking at work, you know, you start not hanging out with friends because all you want to do is drink. You don't go out. It's just, it's a really nasty cycle that I've seen a lot of people go down. It's not very good. And then we keep going down, so let's keep going. Someone get this man a 1-year alcoholic coin. Yeah, there's nothing like, you know, comparing Alcoholics Anonymous chips to a dude drinking literally every day. Let's just praise him. Let's make sure that he keeps drinking. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. All right, so the next post that I want to go into was on the subreddit Facepalm. And this is like notorious for people that make really weird posts on social media that don't make any sense, and then they'll post it on /r/Facepalm. So this one is, which 25-year-old donates $615 a month? So we got like this budget breakdown, and we'll pull it up. So this is the budget breakdown of a 25-year-old who makes $100,000 a year and is excellent with money, via CNBC McKelt. Typical monthly spending: health insurance $270, dining out $250, utilities $195, transportation $130, cell phone $40, house cleaner $30, internet $20, rent $825, donations $615, groceries $400. So this seems absolutely reasonable for someone that's you know, very, very smart with their money. I don't think this is like anything out of the ordinary for someone that spends $100,000. Maybe someone that spends a bit more than that might spend a little bit more. Donations, you know, maybe the person just feels charitable. Sometimes they spend a lot of that money on donations. Maybe they like giving to the homeless. Who cares? Like, why is this post focusing on that? Like, I don't know why this would ever be posted in Facepalm and it got upvoted 22,000. I have an idea. It's because people are jealous that they don't make this money and they don't save that much, because a lot of these people spend that much money. Probably a quarter of it is on like booze and alcohol, but they're pissed because they spend the same amount of money as a person that makes $100,000 a year. They don't know, they're like just scraping by. And this person that makes $100,000 a year is probably saving most of it, and they get away with spending the exact same amount as that person because they don't need it anymore. So how accurate this is, I don't know. Maybe it was just made up, but it's still like the premise that I get angry about is that they're upset that a 25-year-old can spend this little while simultaneously making that much money. And the comments are just absolutely insane. How the hell are you paying $20 for internet? You still got dial-up? Has to be roommates. It's $80 a month here, so split 4 ways. That might explain $825 a month in rent if they're only paying 1/4 of the bill. Can't imagine having 3 roommates if I made $100,000 a year. But of course, this whole thing is a fantasy. How do you know it's a fantasy? What's wrong with you? Like, why can't you imagine having roommates? Having roommates is great. I've had roommates. I've never lived by myself, and I'm like not that, you know, poor by any means. So people are complaining about rent, but you can find like many states where the rent isn't that bad. Canada's like a different story, but if you work smart, get a good job, don't drink every fucking night, maybe you can get a good paying job in a city that isn't too expensive. Or you could just make more in a bigger city as well and then afford the rent. And $800 per month isn't cheap either for most people. I was paying, and I live in Canada, so rent is very, very expensive here. I was paying $500 a month to live with roommates. So it's not unfeasible that you can get a 1-bedroom apartment for $800 a month. It's not unfeasible. And then they're paying $195 a month on $200 a month on utilities. So it's more like $1,000 per month for, you know, your utilities, or for your rent in general. So, and living alone isn't that bad. You'll be less lonely if you don't have a girlfriend, which I know most Redditors probably don't have. It's cheaper and sometimes more fun. You know, like it's nice to have like people around you during the day that you can talk to. Sometimes it can get really lonely, especially during like COVID and like lockdown. If you're not living with anybody, like it's gonna be very, very difficult to get out and do something, and you might become depressed. I've lived with like a lot of different roommates, so I have a lot of different experiences with different people. Not all good, but mostly good. And it's never been a big deal to live with someone. And I don't know what these people's obsession is with, you know, having their own apartments. Maybe that's why their, you know, spend is so high, because they're choosing to live alone, and then they pay way more for a 1-bedroom apartment in an expensive city. But I've also lived alone, and it really, really sucks. You wonder why your mental health can be bad. It's because you spend every waking minute that you're not at work on your computer in your overpriced studio in an overpriced city. I don't know. Let's look at a little bit more of these comments. Let's see. What 25-year-old making $100,000 a year only spends that much a month? When you think about it, this is like a quarter of that person's. It's like a fifth of what they're making. So it's not like it's pennies. Like if we look at it, $100,000 divided by 12 is $8,333. So they're literally spending a quarter of all of their income on random stuff. Is it? Let me see. Total monthly spending. So they're spending almost about a third of what they're making on just like living expenses. And we don't know if this is like 100% accurate. So maybe this is just somewhat similar. Maybe it's close. I don't know. But I don't think it's completely unfeasible. And they should be taking, you know, some sort of, they should learn from this. They should learn that, you know, regardless of the amount of money you're making, that you should be saving a good percent of it. You know what, 75% maybe not, you know, feasible for the majority of people, but it should be, you know, a learning opportunity for them to, you know, save more money. Maybe they should be spending less on drinking booze every day and spending, you know, putting more into their savings. Maybe they could afford a house, you know? Anyways, that's it for the negative post. So I just wanted to show you guys one more post because, you know what, Reddit isn't all bad. And I really like looking at some of these subreddits, like Photoshop, for example. How could I make something like this? And it's a zebra with the body photoshopped as Oreos. I just thought that was really cool because 1, I like zebras, and 2, I really, really like Oreos. So that's it for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. If you want me to do it something like this again and look at more different like Reddit posts and Reddit communities, different subreddits, things like that, let me know in the comments. You can always use my code for youngla.com. They have really cool lifestyle and bodybuilding clothing. So this is the shirt that I'm wearing right now, and I'm wearing their chino shorts as well. If you use code Tristan, you get 15% off at checkout. And you can always support me at Gorilla Mind. I use a lot of different nootropics and pre-workouts. You can use my code as well for them. For 10% off, this is the Gorilla Mind Smooth that I use for work, editing, taking videos. I'm using it absolutely, like right now, I took it before this video to make me a little bit more quick on my toes, witty, things like that. And yeah, that's everything. So talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.